and then maybe at the appropriate time we can have a discussion just for the records, as I said, because this will be a precedent, and it will be very, very difficult to impeach a erring Supreme Court justice if these issues aren't resolved. Thank you very much for this time, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Mr. President, Senator Pia Cayetano is seeking to be recognized, and while she is preparing for that, may I just call the attention of the Clerk of Court to page 54 of the journal, wherein the last line is acknowledged to the Senate President or the presiding officer, but this is Senator Drilon, just to make the proper correction. Typographical error, most probably. Anyway, for the record. So, Senator Pia Cayetano, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Gentle lady from Taguig.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, on Monday, February 27, the prosecution offered as evidence the testimony of one of their witnesses, Edmond Yasala. And in the journal of said date, it states, among many others, the purpose of why his testimony was offered. I will quote, "To prove that Respondent Corona, using his administrative powers as a Supreme Court Chief Justice, extended office hours so that the TRO condition can be fulfilled by GMA, and thus allowed GMA and then First Gentleman to leave." I was very interested in this allegation and was looking forward to the presentation of evidence on this matter, Mr. President. But let me move forward. Yesterday, Senator Lawrence stood up and she asked for clarification because she did not recall that there was any testimony given by any witness as to prove that, in fact, the office hours were extended. So I was intently listening to the query and to the response given to Senator Legarda. I refer to page 37 of our journal, wherein the statement, or should I say, the testimony of the prosecution, I refer to Attorney Pareño, refers to certain times. There was 1:30, 3 o'clock, and 4:30. Mr. President, I would like to put on record that the statements of counsel on the time that certain activities were taken, certain activities took place, have absolutely no bearing on this impeachment court. It will be recalled that it was counsel who testified on those times, and I would like to know if counsel has now offered himself as the witness. Has counsel taken an oath perhaps when I stood out for a few minutes? I just don't want people, whether non-lawyers or the millions of Filipinos who are watching, to be confused because there was no evidence that I can see in the record and that I have witnessed with my own eyes on the witness stand. Having said that, Mr. President, I refer back to the query of Senator Lauren Legarda, and in fact, section 37, page 37 of the journal will bear out her concern that the only reference to time provided by counsel, not by the witness, if I may emphasize again, was 1:30, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and 4:30 p.m. Mr. President, I mention this because I belabor this point because they used our time. We spent so many minutes trying not to fall asleep watching that video. So if there is no testimony that will accompany that video, can we please be more conscious of this? Or if the one who will testify on the video will be the lawyer, then please take the witness stand so that we do not waste the time of counsel, our researchers, our people, in trying to understand what is evidence that we must use in deciding this case. This becomes even more relevant because the prosecution has rested. So I leave this point, Mr. President. I don't require a response, but if the prosecution cares to respond, I am more than happy. Thank you.
The chair would like to state for the record that the statements, personal statements of the lawyers representing either side of the adversarial proceeding are not evidence. They are just a plain statement, manifestation, and they will not be taken into account as proof of anything except that they said it. Anybody who wants to respond to the lady senator from Taguig? From the prosecution side.
Your Honor, the it's the statement of the senator is well taken. Actually, the intention of the video is part of the building block of the presentation of the prosecution. However, in light of the yesterday's development, Your Honor, that we can no longer present the other witnesses like the process server, which we would have wanted to prove the extension of office hours, we cannot go further on that, Your Honor. But thank you for that clarification. I think the senator didn't want us to respond, doesn't need a response. But yes, we clarified that it's part of the building block, Your Honor.
Only statements given under oath by somebody sitting on the witness stand is evidence.
Mr. President.
So,
Mr. President. Yes, maybe now proceed to the business for the day, and this is the continuation of the cross-examination of witness Mr. Danny Piedad of ABS-CBN by the defense. So may we call on the witness, Mr. President?
You may call now the witness who is going to be subjected to cross-examination under the same oath. Let him take this stand.
Your Honor, Attorney Al Pareño, Your Honor, for the prosecution.
Yes. What's the pleasure of Attorney Alvarin?
Your Honor, I'm just going to be for the presentation, for the cross-examination, Your Honor. I will be for the prosecution, Your Honor, for the cross-examination of the defense. I'm really here, Your Honor, to.
It's, to me, as a presiding officer, I'm confused about these things. Why do you have to designate somebody to stand up to attend to the witness?
Thank you.
Cross-examination, any one of you can stand up to object.
It's just that he was the one who conducted the direct, Your Honor. So.
All right.
May we call the witness, then look at that.
And before we proceed, now may I suggest, gentlemen, on both sides, you're putting this court in a very serious predicament because you already make pronouncement about the weight and the quantum of the evidence that you have presented for your side. No one can be sure of the outcome of this case, even if you have presented your evidence. We'll wait for the completion of the entire trial until a judgment can be pronounced. Now, those who practice law extensively are not sure of their case until the entire case is over. So please do not make sweeping statements outside that may befuddle or confuse the people or convince them na panalo na kayo. Wala pang panalo dito. Huwag kayong maniniguro. Baka pagkatapos sasabihin ninyo, natalo kami dahil yung mga senador nasuhulan. Dahil malaki yung aming, malakas yung aming kaso. Hindi ganun eh. Ang paglilitis. So, I hope you will take this advice because we have to be truthful to our people. Okay? So, proceed.
With the kind permission of the Honorable Court, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Anong pangalan? Good afternoon, Mr. Piedad. Magandang hapon po sa inyo.
Good afternoon po.
Nung binabasa ko yung transcript ng inyong testimony, napagalaman ko na kayo ay taga ABS-CBN.
Tama po.
At naroon kayo bilang photographer for almost 11 years. Tama po ba?
Opo, tama po.
Nagsimula po kayo ng magkano ang inyong sweldo?
Objection, Your Honor. Your Honor, that specific question is not material to the direct examination.
He's under cross. He's not under direct. The cross-examiner is testing this witness. Proceed. May I answer?
Nung nag-start ako noong 2001 na cameraman, per hour po kami noon eh. So, So, mapatak lang po ng 54 per hour.
Magkano
54 pesos po per hour.
Magkano po yun isang buwan ang inyong sweldo nung panahon na yun?
Depende po sa dami ng oras na ipinasok namin.
Yeah, but more or less, magkano po ang sinasahod ninyo?
Sa isang buwan po, pwede pong pumalo ng mga 18,000.
Isang buwan.
Opo.
At yan ay nadagdagan na nadagdagan. Samantalang kayo tumatagal sa inyong serbisyo bilang
Opo, tama po.
Nang kayo ay tumistigo rito noong nakaraang araw, magkano na po ang sweldo ninyo bilang photographer?
Your Honor, may I just make a quick objection on the question, Your Honor? Because it might affect certain confidential matters regarding the circumstances of the witness when he is asked on questions regarding
What
salary.
confidential matter?
He's asked about what his salary is, Your Honor. It might affect the...
What is the confidentiality of a salary of a witness?
Only if the witness is willing to answer, Your Honor, but if he's not, I would like to presume that he doesn't want to divulge his salary, Your Honor.
Is that incriminating? May we be allowed to know, Your Honor?
The witness may answer.
35,000 din po.
Eman. At kasama po ninyo dyan sa pagiging photographer ng ABS-CBN si kagalang-galang na photographer Leo Salia.
Opo.
Yung tumistigo dito kamakailan sa panig ng prosecution. Tama ho ba yun?
Opo, tama po.
Magkasama kayo sa isang division o sa isang larangan na saklaw ng ABS-CBN.
Opo, tama po.
Meron, natatandaan ko po, alinsunod sa inyong deklarasyon na noong Nobyembre 15, 2011, assigned kayo sa isang mission para saksihan o kunan ng video ang magaganap doon sa isang department ng gobyerno, yung department MNDA, tama ho ba ko?
Opo.
Oh, and that was mga anong oras po noon?
Nung morning po ng November 15, ang assignment namin sa about the cancellation ng mga bus franchise. So, ang original assignment namin that morning is to cover the DOTC and MMDA in the afternoon.
Ang tanong ko po sa inyo, yung mga anong oras noon?
Morning po kami nagpunta ng DOTC and then afternoon na po sa MMDA.
So,
mga 2 o'clock po.
2 o'clock, opo. Ano po, sino po ang nag-assign sa inyo? Yun ho ba'y voluntaryong ginawa ninyo o merong assignment kayo buhat na nakatataas sa inyo?
Ang usual routine po nun
Yung araw lang na yun ang tanong sa inyo.
Opo, nautusan po yung reporter ko na mag-cover ng storya na yun sa bus franchise.
Sino po yung reporter ninyo na yun?
Si Miss Sen Hernandez po.
At inutusan naman kayo nitong Mr. Hernandez na maging isang photographer doon sa mangyayari sa MMDA nung araw na yun.
Opo.
Tama ho bang sabihin ko na yun ay mga alas 11 hanggang alas 2 ng hapon?
Pwede po.
Pwede. Kasama ninyo doon si Mr. Leosilia?
Losala po.
Leosali.
Hindi po.
Hiwalay kayo?
Hiwalay po kami na sign.
Hindi kayo nakita nung araw na yun?
Hindi po.
Alright. Now, meron kayong binanggit sa inyong deklarasyon, direct examination, na nasa airport naman kayo nung bandang hapon nung araw na yon, Nobyembre 15, 2011. Tama ho ba yun?
Opo, opo.
Alright. At nandoon kayo sa inyong sariling kagustuhan o assignment o dahil sa assignment ninyo?
Nasabi ko po doon sa unang statement ko, napunta po kami doon dahil nakipag-appointment po kami kay Chairman Tolentino ng MMDA na doon na kami mag-ambush interview dahil aalis siya ng bansa. So, kaya po kami napunta.
Hindi po ninyo sinasagot ang tanong ko sa inyo. Kayo ba'y nandoon sa airport? Doon sa mga oras na binanggit ninyo? Sapagkat voluntaryo kayo nagpunta roon o sumusunod kayo sa utos ng isang nakatataas sa inyo?
Sumusunod lang po sa utos ng reporter.
Ano po ang utos sa inyo ng reporter? Pwede ho bang malaman ang kagalang-galang na hukumang ito?
Ang pagkakasabi niya sa akin, si Chairman Tolentino po ay pupunta ng airport. So, doon na po namin siya i-interviewin.
So,
Kaya po kami nandun.
sumagatid po, ang inyong mission ay para interviewin si kagalang-galang na Chairman Tolentino.
Opo, tama po.
Wala pong kinalaman nyo sa pag-alis ng kagalang-galang na GMA.
Opo, tama.
Meron kayong in-identify ditong video tungkol doon sa pag-alis ng kagalang-galang na GMA. Tama ho ba yun?
Opo.
Paano po nangyari ang inyong assignment para makunan ng